Unnerving twists in JonBenét Ramsey's case unfold as new DNA evidence surfaces.
On Roblox. I think he's still missing. I hope they haven't found his body yet, and I hope he's safe. Sarah says JonBenét's grandfather was the head of the department that allowed for airstrips and airports. In Michigan, he made the CSIN. Oh, my God. And I believe every word of that. Thank you, Holly, my girl, for the $1.99 super sticker. She's saying, match me. Choo choo. Thank you. All right, let's keep going.
In our case, I think if they do, we've got probably a 70-80% chance of getting an answer. It's been very successful in solving old cold cases. It's kind of the latest and greatest use of technology and DNA to solve crimes.
And I'm going to tell you something. When I saw the posting of Chief Redfern, I went deep down in the comments and I was reading the comments. And John, I'm not going to lie, I was so disheartened to see how many people out there still believe you had something to do with it.
Well, you just said 2 seconds ago the growth that we used. I can't imagine why. And Zena, welcome to the Crime Crew family. She says, so glad to have caught this live with you, Jay. I've come across from Deception Detective channel. We'll stay here because right after this, we're going to have Deception Detective trash this guy that he's always believed knows a lot more. Thank you so much, Dale. I can't wait to meet you guys. I can't wait to meet everybody at CrimeCon. Y'all better come. Everybody better come. All right. It's only partial DNA, but they've got more than partial DNA. They've got partial DNA under the finger. But listen, Thought Criminal, this is a brand new episode and we're discussing it right now. So perfect timing that you're here. Krista says, hello, beautiful people. And hello, beautiful Krista. Thank you for joining us.
Despite the fact, and let me repeat this loud and clear, that the Boulder police and everybody else involved in investigating the murder of your daughter, they have cleared you over and over and over again. And they've gone so far as to apologize for having left you under that umbrella of suspicion for so long. To the point where Patsy died before she was cleared from that umbrella of suspicion. So for anybody watching, if you're one of the commenters, do your research before you make such painful comments about John and his family. Okay, that aside, I will say this because you brought it up when we, I think, spoke at CrimeCon, that you wish that they would ask you to re-interview. You wish that they would bring you in so that you could, once again, tell them everything that they might want to know. Is that, I know you got the meeting in January.
That's interesting because I wonder if he wants to find out what he wants. No, they haven't what? There's a link between North Fox Island CSAM and the unsolved OCC or OC case, all similarities between the crime scene, cause of death. Yes, thank you, Sarah. I'm telling you, sometimes people think these are conspiracy theories and people are just nuts. But when you see connections like that, and I'm telling you guys, I have been into and studying true crime since forever. I'm 46 years old, and those islands, those CSAM islands, they exist. They've existed for many years. And now they're just under the radar a little more. All right. What I said, they were cleared before Patsy dies. They were cleared several times, but let's keep going.
Is that on the agenda?
Well, we haven't put it on the agenda yet, but we're going to ask for a meeting again in January for an update. And they've always been, at least with Chief Redfern, very cordial in honoring that request. So, they've been fairly quiet about what they're doing. I think if I read between the lines of his latest report that he issued, there's some encouraging words there. And so I'm more optimistic than I've been in a long time, certainly with new leadership. The problem with the old leadership, it was the old guard. These people that were in that police department had never investigated them.
So, guys, the OCC case, I believe that they're referring to is the Oakland County child killer investigation. It's still unsolved, and it's a series of child abductions. I don't know how it's that. Maybe that's not it, because how do we have 4 children were taken and held for days and then found murdered? But how do they have the same? We've got 4 victims, 4 children. So I'm not sure what that is. Sometimes they call it the babysitter killer. Let me know if anyone knows what that OCC that they're referring to. I just didn't look. Here right now, he's in the 80s. All right, let's keep going. I'm not sure if that's what they're referring to.
Murder. They decided on day one that we were guilty, literally day one. And that became the conclusion that they tried to fit the evidence to. And of course, they ran into problems because they couldn't fit the evidence.
Right. I should mention as well, just for those who might be dabbling in the case and thinking that they know more than the average Joe, there is unknown male DNA on JonBenét's clothing, multiple different parts of her clothing, not just one piece, multiple different pieces of her clothing have the same unknown male DNA, meaning it's the same DNA from the same person. So that's a critical piece of this, of this mystery. John, have they said to you anything about?
Yeah, again, this is just this at this time there was no measures put into place. It was just like, hey, your kid's cute, put them in a pageant, make them work their asses off and win. And it's for the parents, really. Nowadays, there are measures in place, but it's just weird. And we know how many pedos exist. And now we have a huge platform of television and internet and social media that are seeing these children and fixating on them, right? All right, let's keep going.
About what new evidence they're referring to and what new interviews they've conducted?
No, they haven't. And of course, that's one of the questions we'll ask is, okay, what new evidence do you have? Did you test the DNA in the latest format that's necessary to do IgG, investigative genealogy? And that would be very encouraging to us if they've done that.
Yes.
This new technology, it's been around for 3 or 4 years.
I just, those pictures rub me wrong. I have a folder of pictures of JonBenét Ramsey in different positions, different shots, different headshots. And you're right, Joseph, it's exploitation and I would have none of it. Like I said, I don't think Mrs. Guilty understood how I felt about it originally and was like, oh, baby Guilty's beautiful. We should get her into, and I said, hell no, no amount of money's going to do that. Nope. No way, no how. And it's still happening. So these people, the Ramseys, knew a lot of people. They were privileged. And I don't doubt that they weren't connected with pedos.
Is really truly an investigative tool that allows police to investigate and look for the killer. The CODIS federal database of DNA it's been around for 30 years. It's frankly a little obsolete in my opinion. So
you know why? You got to have a criminal. And as we know from the Golden State Killer, that guy wasn't a criminal. He was a cop. And so he was caught in genetic genealogy because he wasn't in CODIS, but he was in the family tree of all those folks who've tested their DNA. John, I say it every year. I'm going to say it again. I pray for you. I pray for you and Jan that you will get resolution. You will.
Oh, we want to get resolution as well. However, they do this. They do it every year when it comes up, but we're coming up on 30 years. And this is the first time in a long time where they're saying they have new evidence connected to it that they're testing for DNA. So it's hopeful that they're going to find something. I just understand and realize, and I hope you guys realize, when we talk about a victim, the rate, or we should say the statistically 75% and above, that it's somebody close to your family, inside your family, or somebody that you know that covets you. All right. How else would they have known where to go, where to get the Christmas present that was one of the Christmas presents, to dress her, then put her somewhere where they didn't even find her allegedly the first time around? How could and again, the ransom note plays a huge key piece of evidence in the exact number of that he was going to get a bonus. John, at the paper inside the pad, the writing. How is that possible?
Get justice, and I'm feeling that it's getting closer, especially with the positive vibes you're getting from the Boulder police. Let's just put our hands together and pray together that you finally get this answer in 2026.
Well, thank you, Ashley. I'm very optimistic at this point. I really am.
I'm glad to hear that in your voice, because it's been a long 29 years.
Absolutely a false confession. Thank you for asking, Trishy. At the beginning of this, I was telling you guys about the people of interest over the last 29 years. And John Ramsey and Patsy Ramsey were the number one focus for the longest time. All right. They were cleared eventually and ultimately before Patsy was deceased. But they also have suspected Burke Ramsey, the brother. We still scrutinize that. But the person that confessed was John Mark Carr. And guys, he confessed in 2006, but he was cleared by DNA. False confession, and his DNA didn't match a thing. All right. So, yes.
John, thank you for this, and Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Well, thank you. Merry Christmas to you, Ashley. Thank you.
You are so familiar with this case, so it's great to have you on to help us understand where we are today, because we're going to be approaching the 30-year mark this coming Christmas. But police are not saying what this new evidence is or who has been interviewed, but they are confirming that new and follow-up interviews have been conducted. So I know that you're close to the case, so can you shed any light on what this new evidence might be, or any new or old suspects that might be emerging in the case? Let's start there.
I love it. I'm so glad you guys are here with me to see this and hear this today, because it's something that is not just like, oh, breaking news or clickbait. This is what's happening right now. And Sarah, thank you for another fun fact. John Ramsey's father married his wife's mother, his first wife, making her his mother-in-law and stepmom. And when he divorced his wife, they were still step siblings. That is a fun fact, a crazy fact. All right. Someone else was in the house after they got home from the Christmas party. Someone laid in wait for the best time, in my opinion. And that person that did that was somebody that probably coveted them if it was not an inside job. All right. Many people think Burke did it, and right? They think Burke did it and the parents didn't want to lose 2 children, so they covered it up. I can go over a million scenarios. I don't have a million. I'm being exaggerating, but I can give you at least 5 different theories over the years.